Welcome back to the Pioneer Sideline. I'm your host, Aaron Cooney, episode 138 coming at you for the Pioneer Sideline, longest running show on UView. We're going to get into it. We didn't get to talk softball the last time we were out, so we'll do it now, preview the season as it's our first time in here, and Kelly Reed's return to the Pioneer Sideline. Thank you very much, Kelly, for joining us. And go right into it. You know, lost a lot of pitching here for the Pioneers and a couple key opponents or components there of that offensive lineup, Kelly, and what have you seen thus far going into the season?
You know, the record I don't think shows it enough of what's going to come this season. They are 5-9, but I talked to the girls at the beginning of the season, and I did talk to Coach, and they are optimistic about this season and what's to come. However, you know, they do have a lot of obstacles to overcome. This team is young, a lot of newcomers, a lot of freshmen coming in. Even though there are returners, a lot of those freshmen are vying for those starting spots. And the pitchers, like you mentioned, only one coming back out of 4. So it's going to be a tough season for them.
And take a look at some of the players lost for the Pioneers. You lose Kristen Zelenka, you lose Lindsay and Zana, two of your star pitchers. Zelenka, the AMC Pitcher of the Year last year. And also on the offensive side, lose Lindsay Pasenkin, also an All-AMC second-teamer. Batted .307 last year, 18 RBIs, was a 4-year starter. She's on the coaching staff, which is nice to see. But 8 of 9 starters returning, Kelly. How big is that for the Pioneers to have that leadership role in those girls back on the team?
Oh, it's always good to have leadership roles and to have veterans coming back. You know, they help the freshmen for future years even to give them the courage and the wisdom for what they need to do to fight these teams and to win. So it's always good to have veterans. However, those veterans need to step up and actually perform better as well. And
there's our returners there. You see Kelsey Robertson, the lone pitcher that you mentioned, back. Amanda Ardinger, Ashley Moran, Julie Campbell, Nichelle Navarro. Olivia Source, Daniel Durunda, Zoe Hughes, just a few of them, and 8 of 9 starters from the field returning. But I want to key in on that pitching matchup. You have Kelsey Robertson there, and then you got to fill in the other 2 starting positions if you're going with a 3-person rotation. Those are going to be freshmen. How hard is that for the Pioneers to overcome the young blood on the mound?
Well, definitely. You know, high school pitching is a lot different than college pitching, and the speed is different, and the amount that the game is going everything's just different. For a freshman coming in on that mound, they need to be conditioned. They need to have that experience from Kelsey Robertson to give them that information on how to perceive the game different in college. So I definitely think Kelsey Robinson will help the freshmen out, but it's going to be a challenge that they need to overcome as well.
Also, 27 players on this roster, and haven't really gotten a good look of what this team will actually look at when you start playing into the conference play, because you go down to Florida and a couple of the non-conference games, you're going to get a lot of the other players in. So we're not too sure what this lineup will actually look like. But as of right now, it hasn't fared too well, sitting at 5-9 overall with the record. And really, coming from those starters, those 8 returners, really just hasn't been there thus far. And they're not giving that, I would say, that support to the pitchers early on, Kelly.
Yeah, I definitely agree. They are very inconsistent with their wins. You know, they're losing by a lot or they're winning by a lot, and it's not really consistent there. They need to keep going with the batting. They need to keep those conditioning, those simple skills that everyone learns at an early age in softball. And I just think once they get those back down, they'll be fine. Because like I said earlier, the coach is very optimistic for this season.
One other question. You mentioned head coach Michelle Kultis on the job, or on her 6th season now. Missed it early on, missed kind of the preseason. She was on maternity leave, back now with the team. She joined them in Florida. But does that maybe during the preseason hurt the squad when you have 27 players on the squad and a couple of seniors, but that leadership role there of having your head coach overseeing everything, with that missing, do you think that might have hurt them early on?
I don't know if it would hurt them. It would definitely play with their mindset a little bit. Definitely with those other assistant coaches and even returners coming back to help coach a little, helps a lot. But these girls wanted that coach and that head coach role there. So I definitely think with her coming back, it'll even help them in the future here.
Well, we will see. Kelly, thank you very much. Hope to have you on again every Monday. We will have highlights hopefully for you next week as well. We'll be going out to a couple games. The Pioneers have a few games taking on Sunny Kenny as well over the weekend, and might have a broadcast or two. So stay tuned on the Point Park Athletics website. We'll have that for you as well. We're going to step away for a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk Tim Tebow and Peyton Manning here on the Case of the Week. Don't go away.